know, in my experience, I think every season, every playoff round, every playoff series kind of has its own story.
Thanks, Radford. How are you, buddy?
The greatest coach in the history of the game, Scotty Bowman, told me, you're going to win multiple championships, but you're going to have to coach 3 or 4 teams to do it. And exactly what happened.
To King in the zone on left wing, back in front, deflected save, score on the rebound! Andrei Kopitar!
A couple of sticks out in front, they score! Jake Muzzin!
King out to the right point for Green, tap to Foley, knocks it in! And now in his corner, center pass quickly, he scores!
Every team that wins is different. I think teams that try to repeat, I think it's a little bit of a mistake because it's a different year and you got to write your own story.
Don't make me drag you over here.
Loyalty reigns again in the National Hockey League. For the second time in 3 years, the Los Angeles Kings have ascended to the throne. The Kings are the 2014 Stanley Cup champions.
If I say anything stupid, my name is Dustin Brown.
14. Where do you look here?
Am I good here?
Camera, you?
Me.
Okay.
I really don't remember much. No, it's just so long ago.
This is the second time you've done this now in 2 years. How does this year compare to 2022? I'm seeing everybody again, but different, slightly different crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 10 years, so, you know, a lot has happened since then, but, you know, it's tough in the fact that you have a lot of teammates and you obviously remember these guys as champions, which is awesome, and you always have that bond, which is, you know, just something that really can't be put into words, but, you know, you see everyone here and it's great to see everybody and reminisce and really just catch up on old times.
Tell me the big question for the Kings as they prepare for this season.
Well, I think the question for me with that team is, will they score enough goals? I'm always wondering, you know, are they going to get enough offense? We saw in the playoffs last year, they had some of their big guys really slump.
My experience as a King is I played 18 seasons. We didn't have one season where we played well in the regular season. However, this group, this little era that we had here, we were built for the playoffs. We knew that internally, like we could get to the playoffs, we can have a chance.
We're built for the playoffs and, you know, the grind. And you can't really necessarily grind 82 games. And we all knew, you know, I guess the experience from 12th that you just got to make it in.
Kings with it again, a shot off and the rebound score. The Kings have tied it up.
If you look back at that season, that could have gone a lot differently with Quickie going down.
Seavers pick it up, pass up the middle, saved by Quick, and picked up by the Kings as it's taken and sent up to center ice.
Jonathan Quick still down, Bob. He's getting up slowly.
Well, you would hope it's just a cramp.
He's conversing. Look at the call for Ben Scrivens.
We don't make things easy for us as a regular season team, but obviously Quickie's a huge part of our team, and to miss him, I mean, you can't replace him. So Jonah came in and played lights out and like kind of kept us afloat. That's the great thing about team is a guy goes down, it's an opportunity for someone else to prove themselves.
Husky down in the corner, picks it up for the Ducks, comes in front of the net, saved by Jones, and he falls on the puck.
We had a game plan with Marty, start him out first half of the season, and then, you know, bring him up in the second half. That was the plan. You know, it happened a little bit earlier than expected. Marty came in and Ben Scrivens was playing incredible, and Marty just kind of came in and took over. And when you start adding up the wins that he was able to give our team at that time, it was a big part in us getting into the playoffs.
The Kings and the Canadiens both finished with 30 shots, but another shutout for Martin Jones.
We got hit in the face many times and knocked down, but we just kept getting back up, back up, back up. But there's a lot of teams in the NHL that don't make the playoffs that are really, really good teams. So obviously very important about getting in. You got to get in to give yourself a chance, because when we got in, we felt we couldn't be beat.
Shutouts this year. Quick now with 5. Jones has 3. Scrivens had 3. And that ties the club record of 11 in a year. And the Kings get their 40th win for the 4th consecutive season.
You know, I guess after 12, we're kind of sitting there and we're like, wow, well, you know, we obviously got the experience of winning a Stanley Cup, but did we really get that experience? Because it's, you know, we weren't playing in those game 7s. We weren't, you know, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, like our back against the wall. Experiencing 2012 and then 14, growing up as a kid, I always imagined it'd be more like 14.
We are only 2 days away from it all going down in the playoffs, and no matter what happens, you can be assured that these playoffs will be like nothing you've ever seen before, because you haven't seen it like this before. The league has adopted a whole new format. Let me show you what's going on. We got a new system designed to give us what we want. We want the rivalry games, and that's what you're getting on both sides, because now the 2 and 3 seeds in each division, they play each other.
And now we go to another one. 2 great teams, San Jose,
this
the
is
Los
hard.
Angeles
This
Kings.
is really hard.
They meet again, just as they did last year, and it was an epic series, 7 games last year in the playoffs. How about this year?
Boy, I think that the San Jose Sharks have the better team right now. They're getting healthy. 2 close teams, very tight series. Quick or Niemi.
Gotta go Jonathan Quick, right? Wow, how many Kings fans do we have here?
How tough is it going to be, you guys starting on the road? That going to impact your gameplay at all?
Well, obviously we hope it doesn't, but going into it's a tough building. That's why it's a big part of their identity is their home ice, their crowd, and the building. So obviously it's a big challenge.
They won all 3 here last year against LA, but regrettably lost all 4 in Southern California. Antti Niemi leads the Sharks through the Shark Head and onto the ice on this 17th of April, Game 1, Sharks and Kings.
Back then, it was, you know, really difficult just to get out of the state of California, obviously, with San Jose and Anaheim and us just kind of battling.
And now Brent Burns with a tight turn, taking it behind the Kings net, out front, and they score! Joe Pavelski with the first goal of the series.
It's not easy winning a Stanley Cup, but we certainly made it a lot more difficult on ourselves, I'd say, in 14 than we did in 12.
Hurdle, Vlasic, score! Final score, San Jose 6, Los Angeles 3.
Obviously, the first couple games didn't go the way that we wanted to.
Pass on the right side. Now Nieto left side. Shot score by Marlowe. An outnumbered attack. Pavelski drops it back to Boyle. Back to Pavelski. Back over to Thornton. Score!
We came up here twice and didn't get anything that we wanted. We got our asses kicked pretty much, and now we go home and we have to take care of our home ice.
Puck is taken by Joe Thornton, King zone. His pass deflects over, a shot, score! Deflected in.
We were so far off the mark, and I've never seen a team be able to turn the script like that team did. So we got a little better in game 3.
Ahead to Toffoli, three-point pass, scores! Jared Stoll! A 3-on-2 for Los Angeles. Gabrick in, scores!
We lost in overtime at home, and we looked at each other and we're like, all right, you know, we have a chance. Like, let's do it one game at a time.
It was just such a bang goal, and then boom, it's done. Game's over. Everybody's off the ice. And because I think the guys, they played extremely well that night, you know, and we knew we were coming. You know, those guys, they're playing with confidence. They're playing great. Game 1 and 2 wasn't good. Game 3, we locked it down.
You just gotta keep working, win a game, go from there.
It's a tough field, and we won't go quietly away, that's for sure. I believed it right from the start. I remember telling upper management, even when we were down 0-3, the pressure was on them. I said lots of teams can beat us 3 times, but there ain't nobody can beat us 4 times.
We have a group that's been together, and a resilient group. We've gone through a lot together. Kind of did the same thing a couple years ago with just getting into playoffs and then doing something special.
You know, nobody's quitting, and
we're trying to keep our heads up and just go tomorrow and try to win that one. You know, I remember my friend Marcel Hossa was visiting me, and we were sitting on the beach. It was 3-0, and I got a phone call from the national team coach that if I'm gonna play in the World Championship, and I was like, hey, this is not over. I was humbled, but at the same time, like, you know, we can do this.
It was one game at a time. Let's win a ship, let's win a period, let's win a game, and then let's see what happens.
Kings get it back out to center ice. Taken on the right side. They come across the line, 3-on-2. A shot, knocked down, score on the rebound.
We just had great character on our team. A lot of guys that were never going to give up, and like we didn't go into Game 4 thinking, you know, the series is over by any means.
Cutting in, he shoots, and a save by Quick.
You know, if I sat here and said for sure I felt we were going to win it, that's a lie. I think we could win it, yes, absolutely.
Shoots, knocked down, rebound, score to Foley.
You just got to wear down the other team, and the Kings get what they need, and the Staples Center fans get a chance to celebrate.
Slowly, you know, put the pressure on them, and they couldn't handle the pressure. And then when it came time for us to handle the pressure, we did.
In on right wing to Kopitar. Back to Dustin Brown, a shot save. Score! Andrei Kopitar!
When I really felt we were going to win was at the end of Game 5. We won 3-0 to San Jose, and we were going back to our place, and we saw their faces, and we kind of got our swagger back a little bit.
And I remember Game 5, I'm like, this is a different series now. Just looking at them, it was like, they don't believe they can win.
They were a beat team. They wouldn't even look you in the face. You know, they turned their cheek when you were interviewing them and things like that. You could just tell that the Kings now were in their heads, and there was no looking back.
Kind of a slow start offensively tonight for these teams. Here's Doughty in the San Jose zone. Pass in front, score! And the Kings lead 1-0. Now picked up left side, Martinez shoots, tipped in front, score! The Kings have stormed back from down 3-0 to tie it 3-3.
This time of year, whether it's Game 1 of a series or Game 7, the approach is still the same because at the end of the day, each game is that valuable.
Do you think you put some doubt in their minds now because of what happened tonight going into Game 7?
I mean, they're a proud team over there as well. They knew they were up against a good team, and we know we're up against a great team. So we're going to do what we can and see what happens, which is what we wanted to do.
There was nothing going to stop that group. It was a group that believed. We had some really good veteran players that have been in those situations before, and I think it's really made the difference in the end.
And Daryl Sutter, when he was asked what's the difference in the series, he kind of looked around at the media in the room and he said 6-7-4, 3-0-1. We all looked around. What did he mean? The goals against for LA in each game of the series, it has gotten progressively better and more LA-like.
San Jose wanted to start changing up their game, playing a little more physical at the end there. Our guys are ready for that. We had guys that were battle-tested, that had been in those Game 7 situations, that had played in those, and they delivered. They went out there and they played, and we got up on them in Game 7, and that was it.
And a shot wide, rebound again. Kings with a shot, score! Doughty on the left side with a one-man advantage.
San Jose was an interesting game because they scored early, we tied it up. We scored late in the second. Kobe scored late in the second, and then we're up 2-1, and then we blew the game open early in the third.
Shoots, and he scores! Toffoli puts the Kings ahead 3-1. And the Kings' climb to the top of this mountain is complete. They become just the fourth team in NHL playoff history to win a series after they trailed 3-0.
It was nice hearing that silence, though. we knew we were going to have to go through those types of teams. And we go into the next series, we knew we were going to have to go through Anaheim. So it's always fun playing those teams in California.
It was just a roller coaster ride, and we were just on the roll. I mean, the good thing about Anaheim was we didn't have to travel far. We just took the bus. But against Anaheim, they were always, you know, felt like we were in the home building.
You used to go and play in different buildings in playoffs, and you know, you come out and it's a hostile crowd right away. You know, you come out to Chicago, it's all red. For that series in Anaheim especially, you know, starting these games 1 and 2, you come out of that tunnel and it's all silver and black.
Kopitar goes to work. Gabrick down low. Out in front, Martinez, he scores! Alec Martinez! And the LA Kings are off and running.
You just believed that the team could get it done. You know, Daryl Sutter did a great job. He kept the guys dialed in. It was a tough league back then. There were some heavy playoff games, physical playoff games.
Maroon, Solani, they score! Teemu Solani breaks the tie.
First series, we were probably not quite as sharp as we had to be. The Anaheim series, we were game on, and it was about goaltending, special teams, top players, one-on-one situations on the ice, and Jonathan was unbelievable after the San Jose series, right? And we made Anaheim use, I believe, 3 goalies, and eventually we knew we'll wear them out with our forwards, we'll wear them out with our defensemen. We could wear them out with our goaltending too.
Covered up by Jonathan Quick. Heavy action out in front. Richards moves it ahead. 8 seconds left. Hiller on the doorstep. They score! The opportunity out in front, and the Kings have tied it.
I think we showed in the last series our team doesn't give up. We're a resilient team. We never once believed that we were going to lose that game, even with a minute left, even when the timeouts were called. We believed that we were going to get that goal. And maybe it was a lucky bounce or whatnot, but it doesn't matter how it went in, and we took it over in overtime.
Kopitar, hold it, out in front, off the goal post and in! Marian Gabrick, and the Kings win!
Teams that, you can win it once and get on it, and everybody's healthy and you do it, but to do it again or do it successfully, you need depth. And guys have to accept roles, and guys have to come out of the press box, and guys got to play hurt, and exactly what happened.
Well, the Kings were forced to go with 5 defensemen early in the first period. Robin Regehr went down after playing just 3.5 minutes of the opening period.
Expect, though, in game number 2 to see Jeff Schultz make his Los Angeles Kings debut. Hasn't played on LA since the preseason.
Worked hard all year and didn't think this day was going to come, but have the opportunity to help the team win and go out there and do my best and do what they asked me to do.
We lost Reg, and Schultz stepped up and played really, really well for us. Everyone forgets about him because they do. He hadn't played a whole lot leading into the playoffs. He was our 7th defenseman. Wasn't probably expecting to play, and then got the opportunity and performed really well for us.
Look at a guy like Schultz who came in the Anaheim series, and really we won that series because Schultz came in because the guys were banged up.
Feeds it across to Martinez, who shoots, scores! Dwight King with the empty net goal after a great play by Justin Williams inside the Kings blue line. And the Kings have a 3-1 lead.
What kind of tranquility does this lead give you at this point?
None. At the end of the day, it's 2 games. We've been through this process enough times over the last 4 or 5 years to understand it's about the next game, and they've been the best team in our conference all year, so it's going to be a fight.
I think that was such a weird series. It was one of those things where it was almost like there was no puck on the ice. It was just battling every single day.
Fowler now gets left. Out in front, Perry scores! Corey Perry off the mark, and Anaheim is off and running.
I don't think it really changed our demeanor losing 3 in a row. Like, we knew we had a good team, we knew we were a better team.
We didn't think too much ahead. We didn't think, what's going to happen in game 4, game 5, or game 6. We just took it shift by shift.
You know, obviously you kind of rely on that experience. I mean, we had just gone through it. You know, for whatever reason, I feel like we just kind of had a calm confidence that we could get it done.
You know, I think we learned a lot from the first series, and just when our backs were against the wall, like, you know, what our character and what our team was all about, and we kind of just took that same mindset into that series when we were down, and, you know, took it one period, one game at a time, and we knew if we played our best, there wasn't many teams that were going to beat us.
4-3 will be the final. Anaheim withstood the pressure. They hold on for the win, and the Ducks are now up 3-2.
We've been in this situation before, and you know, we have a tight group. We know how to win, and we're confident we can come back here.
What has most impressed you about John Gibson as a goalie the past 2 games?
Well, he's the best goalie I've ever seen. I mean, I can't believe we got one by him tonight. A lot of pressure on him now. Just a lot of pressure on him.
You're never done till that 4th game puts you in the coffin and closes the door, right? You can still keep that door open a little bit. You can still keep fighting. You can still keep banging, and that's what we did.
The LA Kings facing elimination yet again, so familiar territory after what they did in the first round, but trying to find some offense. Just 5 goals in the last 3 games.
We'll see tonight. They're back on home ice. They're a team that's been very resilient. I mean, the LA Kings, you know, this is a battle-tested team. I expect a top effort from them in this one.
Downey at the point. Arian Gabrick off a couple of sticks out in front. They score! Jake Muzzin!
Lewis into the zone to the left circle. A shot. Score! The trickle behind the rookie goaltender and in. Trevor Lewis, and the Kings are up 2-0.
Devontae Smith-Pelly for Corey Perry. Can't handle it. Palmieri now. Perry in back of the goal. Out in front. Shut down by Quick. Fought for. Still loose. There it is. Fowler off bodies. 2 seconds left. That'll do it. The LA Kings have forced Game 7.
As a player, you come down to the ramp in Anaheim and you go into the bus and you walk into the room and they have, there's like 6 divisional championship banners there. And I go, none of those matter. That was the first time we played him when it mattered, and we spanked him.
Picked up Fowler, got it on the left wing side. They can't clear. Held in, point shot safe, score! On the rebound! Who else? Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams.
No accident. You see the guys that score in those games. It's, you know, stick. I think he starts it off, and then what? Rick
Richards, yeah.
Yeah, Rick gets one right there.
Kings in the zone, however. King with a shot save. Rebound, score!
You got those guys in your lineup. Like, we got a chance to win every game. Those guys are foaming at the mouth going into that game. You're like, I'm gonna score.
That Game 7 in the Anaheim series was unbelievable. Like, our guys took it to another level that it looked like it was a pro team playing an amateur team. The level of play in that Game 7 by our hockey club was absolutely ridiculous.
Pass detected by Kyle Clifford. Left there in neutral ice. Kopitar goes wide. His shot. He scores! On Jay Kopitar. 4-0 Kings.
That game, I always make a joke that the Zamboni driver was -2. Like, we came out of the gate so hard in that game, and we got up quick. It was a group that was just so determined and focused that we steamrolled in that game. The game was never in doubt.
6-2 is the final. The Kings have beat the Ducks in the first ever series between these 2 Southern California rivals. And the Kings now, for the 3rd straight season, will go to the Western Conference Finals.
And we beat 2 extremely tough teams in the Pacific Division, which is a real tough division. So we're proud of where we are, but we know we're halfway.
Mr. Game 7, is that what we have to call you now, or?
No, you can call me Justin.
I've warmed up to Mr. Game 7 the longer that I've been out of the league. You know, it's kind of a cool nickname to have, but I didn't like the attention it really brought to me, because the attention should have been on how good our team was in Game 7s, and that's why I got it, right? Because our team was so successful in Game 7.
He was clutch for us in Game 7s, but he was just good throughout the entire playoffs and every single game.
And again, I don't want to sound cocky, but I have pretty good track record in Game 7s. I don't think I have lost Game 7, but so did Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams. He had such a great performance all the time.
You know, those guys lead the charge. There's no question there's those players like that that have played in a lot of Game 7s or played in, made the difference in deciding games. They lead the charge for you. They set the tone, and Willie's a perfect example.
Daryl, how personally satisfying is it for you this third year making the Western Conference Finals, and obviously the Cup in 2012, and you just guys keep finding a way to get back there?
I think with the new alignment this year and the new format, toughest part is adjusting to how you can win in your division. So you just find a way. Is it gratifying? Of course it is. That's why you play for. You know, everybody forgets there was another year between 12 and 14, and we got beaten in the conference finals against Chicago, and it was like the extension of it.
Overtime in Chicago. Number 2, if you have any allegiance to one of these teams, I guess it's almost too tough to watch.
Here's Kopitar. Sends it around to the near side of the Chicago zone. Bickle, they force a turnover. Here's Taves and Kane. 2-on-1. Hudson back to his point. Up a shot. Score! Patrick Kane in overtime!
You know, one thing we always talked about was when we won it in 12, the guys that stayed together, once you win it, you feel like it's yours. And when they take it away, you want to get it back.
2013, it wasn't close. We lost in 5, but it was not close. Like they dominated every game.
2013, we lost them. They went on winning the Cup. 2014, we got to play them again. You know, they were the team that I felt was our equal. You know, for those years, I felt that it was us or them in the conference.
They were Cup champions, we were Cup champions, and it was just a battle. We were pretty disappointed when they did kick us out in that year in between Cups, but man, those battles with them were a lot of fun.
Penalty killers are tired now. They've been in their zone for a long time. Here is Letty with a shot. He scores!
The past few years, it was no secret that Chicago was a perennial powerhouse at that time, and obviously it had a lot of success. A lot of star power and a lot of momentum shifts, a lot of swings. Those were some pretty intense games.
Another block. 5 lines down. Chicago Blackhawks win game 1.
Game 1, they beat us. In Game 2, we spanked them.
Steve with Seabrook. Only Mitchell is back. Received across. Oh, what a save by Quick.
It gave us belief, but it also put them on notice. They spanked us the year before. I can't really reiterate that enough, because I think they kind of thought they were going to do the exact same thing, and that Game 2 changed the whole complexion of the series. It was really fun to play in.
2-on-1 Kings. Carter in the zone with Toffoli to the net. A shot. He scores! Jeff Carter. And with 5:16 left here in the third period, the Kings have now built a 5-2 lead.
Kings win it by the score of 6-2.
Coach, I think it was this morning, someone asked you about Jeff Carter and the 2 kids, and you said they haven't played together that much. They played together a lot in the third period tonight, and I think Jeff had 4 points. And
yeah, he scored a big power play goal right away. And then the line scored 2 goals and then an empty netter. Tanner and Tyler and Jeff, you know, Jeff moved to center, and Tanner and Tyler stepped in as young guys, and they were like the energy that we needed. That 70s line got a lot of publicity because of it.
It's incredible to play with him. He's a really easy guy to play with, and I've said it a lot of times. He's really honest, and he'll let you know if you're doing things right or wrong, and that's what's making our line really successful so far.
That 70s line was a phrase that got tossed around. I wasn't aware that anybody on the team knew that that was a nickname. Any thoughts on that nickname as a line?
I thought it was a pretty good name. No, it was, I think we had quite a bit of success there early, and no, I think if anything that, yes.
You do got to give them a little more soundbite though. I'm not coaching, but like, give what they want. They're trying to feed into you with the questions.
No, what do you want from me?
No, you got to talk about like, oh well, Karch was the dad, and they're looking for a little something, and me and Todd are the dumb idiots. So like,
that's 70 lines.
And you know what? Like we did pretty good, right?
Not bad, really.
I don't pump my own tires.
You got to pump Karch's tires for being your dad, and that's Sammy's line.
So now I gotta answer this.
Yeah, but don't make it fake though.
When Tanner came in the lineup, I thought he brought the young energy that I was also supposed to bring, but it was just so fun. Like there's nothing else that you can say. It was just so much fun, and being able to play with him and Karts, I thought was amazing.
There's nothing that we didn't know. We knew exactly what they were going to do. They knew exactly what we were going to do. It's just a matter of who's going to do it better that night.
Doughty now for Carter, who centers in the high slot. Voinov shoots, scores!
Who's going to make a mistake? Who's going to crack first? Who's not going to have the best night that night?
Now to Foley, to the net. He scores! The Los Angeles Kings win Game 3.
Just looking on the ice with so many future Hall of Famers on the ice, and Kopitar, Tays, you had Kane, Carter, Richards, Brown, Crawford in net for them. You got Quickie in net for us, Doughty and Keith. And so just you cross the line, it was just one star after. Hossa was there, who was a terrific player.
In order to win the series, you had to beat the guy across from you. There wasn't just one guy that was the difference maker. It was everybody that needed to pull in the same direction.
There were so many nice plays, so many good players on those rosters. And you're right, it was just a punch, a counterpunch, a punch, a counterpunch, back and forth.
Loose in front, it is kept out. Taves with a great chance now, a backhand shot, and Pickle scores.
We were up 3-1 in that series, and we let them slip back into it.
The ups and downs, the swings, the talent that was on the ice, night in, night out. It was everything that you needed in a hockey series.
We were up 3-2 in that series and had a lead in Game 6 at home.
Patrick Kane hit a puck in our zone, and he was, as you know, he's circling around, and I was chasing him. He was doing spin rammers, whatever. I was on him. Then he gets to the blue line, and he rips a wrist shot, low blocker. And I was on him, and they scored, and they won that game. And I should have him, And especially talking about those matchups, here I go against Kane, and he scores this goal that is going to put it into Game 7. That was really it got me.
What is your level of frustration right now, because you came so close so many times tonight?
I'm frustrated, but I'm over it pretty quickly. We got another game to play, Game 7. We've had 2 chances to close out this series, and we're not going to blow the third one.
Darryl, what did you say to your team after the loss tonight?
Fly at 11. I was drafted, played, captain, coached, everything with the Blackhawks. It was probably harder for me than anybody on the team. You're just locked in, zeroed in. We went there to win. We went there to win a game. It was an awesome series. You look at the two teams, it was a high scoring, and there was so much respect between the two teams. Guys respected each other so much.
The momentum is totally against us, and they're probably feeling pretty good going back home for Game 7, and all of a sudden we're down 2-0 4 minutes into the game.
Wheeler for the shot in front, Taves scores! Jonathan Taves on the power play, 2-0 Chicago.
Everything's against us, and we got that big 2-1 goal, probably Karts or something, got us back in the game, and then we took off from there.
Score! It went off Corey Crawford, and cruising in front was Jeff Carter.
But it was always like, okay, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3.
It was just a completely different experience. It felt like a completely different playoff. It was the best playoff series I've ever played in.
Game 7 of the Western Conference Final is headed to overtime.
Chicago was so hard to beat, and it was such a hard series, and Any overtime goal is exciting, but one to send you to the Stanley Cup Finals and beat Chicago at that time was pretty close to the Stanley Cup winning goal, to be honest.
Here's Justin Williams. Williams moves it into the corner.
It's funny, I remember Ben Smith, he had blocked, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of my shots from the point, you know, that game, I think, alone. And so that's kind of why I did that little fake to stop and go back. I was just trying to get to the net, that's all. I wasn't trying to pick a corner or anything.
Kings take over to center Williams. Williams up the right wing, will flip it into the corner. Stoll in on Kruger with a bump. Williams in for the puck, feeds it out to Martinez. Martinez with a shot, tipped, score! Kings win the game! Alec Martinez with a shot from the blue line! The Kings are going to the Stanley Cup Final!
When that puck went in, it was like silence, because we had silenced that stadium, which never is silent. It was magical, and that series was probably the best hockey I'd ever seen, and it was a testimony to that group.
Chicago was that team we just couldn't beat when it was on the line. I think it was just worry from a coaching standpoint, from our staff, that the guys would be just, we beat them, and then not be able to ramp it back up against the Rangers, because if we weren't able to ramp it back up, it would have been a short series. That's how good the Rangers were.
And the Kings are clearly hockey's version of a cockroach. Tonight they made NHL history, becoming the only team to win 3 consecutive Game 7s, all on the road.
Kathy, did you believe?
I believed.
Adrian? Well, you should have believed.
This is a very exciting time to be a Los Angeles sports fan. More people are pretending to care about hockey this week than ever.
LA is not just a place to come and play a hockey game and have work on your tan. It's a tough loop in California right now to play, and we want to, put LA on the map.
They were a big, strong team. They were deep like we were. They had big forwards there. You go back and look at that team. They had a great goalie in net with Lundqvist. So they were, that was a tough opponent. But again, to me, once we got through those first 3 rounds, I don't think we wanted to go through that again.
The Rangers series, it gets overlooked how tight and how close that was. The Kings didn't lead, a lot through that series.
Pouliot in the zone and on goal, shoots and scores.
But there were the moments. The Kings captured the moments.
Rangers trying to get out of their own zone. Kyle Gifford scores! Long pass, gloved down by Williams. Stops up, waiting for help, sees Doughty. He's got the puck, stops, shoots, scores!
Drew Doughty has tied Game 1.
If you look back at those tight games, overtime games, Quickie was unbelievable. Key stop after key stop, and then we'd score a big goal.
Fans on a pass, and now Girardi with it. He fell down, turned it over. In front, Williams, shot, score! Justin Williams wins Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final in overtime for the Kings.
And I have a lot of New York friends too who, said, "Oh, that series was so close," and I agree, it was really close. But for some reason, it didn't feel that close. Certainly after we played Chicago.
Deep in his own zone, then gave it away. Dominic Moore, McDonough takes a shot.
We were tested. We were the better team, and we were going to win that series. And yes, it was super close.
The Rangers here in the closing minute 14 of the first period have now taken a 2-0 lead.
We were able to find a way, and that's what winners do.
And not out, held in. King high slot, a pass to the net. Save is made. Now a shot. Stoll scores! And the Kings have battled back to tie Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. It is now 4-4.
We had a double overtime game in Game 2. You're tired, so you just focus on what you got to do. And then for me, I was too nervous to watch. So if I wasn't on the ice, unless my number was called to get ready to go, If the puck was in our D zone, I'm not watching, but as soon as it gets out of our D zone, I'm watching.
It's hard to win. It's hard to win a Stanley Cup, and you know, you can do all the things the right way, but you know, along the way you need a little bit of luck, you need a bounce here or there, and you know, fortunately we were able to get that, and then we were able to capitalize on some big opportunities that we had in those overtime.
From center, Willie Mitchell with the shooting. Ryan McDonough, first man back. Brown right on him, stole the puck away. Dustin Brown to the blue line.
Willie Mitchell holding, throws it at the net, it's blocked, picked up Kopitar. Kopitar now outside the left circle, out to Willie Mitchell with a shot. Score! The Kings win it in overtime again. The Kings, for the second straight game here to start the Stanley Cup Final, have won the game in overtime.
Coach, is there some sort of wisdom that you lay down when you're down 2 goals? This bamboo mentality, this bend, do not break. It's a nightly ritual.
Is that a good ritual?
The one thing that they had behind them was that belief, the confidence, all the things that they'd overcome having gone on the road. And you know, the team, you know, look at the record on the road, how successful they were on the road. It didn't matter what rink they played in. They felt that, you know, that they were comfortable.
Coach, what concerns you about tonight's Game 3 here in New York?
I think the biggest concern would be that we're coming into Madison Square Gardens and playing the New York Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, we're a pretty comfortable team on the road. We've had a lot of success on the road, and we're going to try and plan on doing the same thing that they did to us. Maybe jump on them early.
Cranked ahead and slowed down by Carter. Brought on by Williams. Protects. Got it to Carter. Score! Jeff Carter!
To Kopitar, right circle. Out up high to Muzzin with a wrist shot. Deflected. Score! The Kings are up 2-0.
And a 2-on-1. Mike Richards moving up. He's got Lewis with him. Trying to pass it across. Follows through and scores! Richards! And it's 3-0.
We are 1 win away from winning the Stanley Cup!
Justin, I know you always talk about taking it one period, one game at a time, but now you're at the point to one more game and the championship is yours.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's anybody who says they're not thinking about that going into next game is just not being honest, but at the same time, we've had the ability to not look too far ahead.
You've come back from a 3-0 deficit already in these playoffs in the first round. How much is that in your mindset now that you're up 3-0?
Well, we know it's possible. The last game's always the hardest, no matter what series or what the series is at. It's always the hardest to do, and we're going to have to, you know, we played a good game. We're going to have to play a better game if we're going to want to have success.
The funny thing is, the one game we lost was our best game in the whole series. Game 4 in New York was the best game we had played against them. And that's just kind of how the game of hockey works sometimes.
Save wide. Williams there, through it in front, save Lundqvist. Scramble there at the side of the net. 3 seconds to go. It's lifted along. Kept by Muzzin. It's going to take 5.
About resetting and reloading, getting out of here, getting on a flight, and getting yourself ready mentally to do the right things to put us in this position to win.
When we got off the plane, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, after Game 4. Justin Williams said to us, "We're not going back to New York."
From Staples Center, home of the Los Angeles Kings in downtown Los Angeles, welcome to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
There's no way that we're going to play a bad game tonight, that's for sure. We are fully prepared for this game. We want this so bad. We want to win this game more than them. There's no doubt about that.
We had so much confidence in each other that somebody's going to make a play.
Puck comes left side, taken by Dwight King. King put it down the corner, back to the blue line, shot by Mitchell in front, loose puck, still loose, and score! The Kings, Justin Williams gives the Kings a 1-0 lead.
We knew each other so well. We knew each other what the other person wanted to do and how they were going to play and what they wanted to do in that situation, whether it was the first period of the game or whether it was the third overtime.
Boydoff, who closes off with Hagelin, who plays it across for Boyle. Boyle to the outside. He scores! And it's 2-1.
There's no time of like, okay, all right, here we go again, and I don't think we're going to come back from this. It was, all right, well, that happened. Move on, keep going. Let's keep building on this.
And off the draw here is Martinez in deep and tried to throw it in front to Kopitar. Tipped away, and Gabrick has it now. Gabrick down in the corner. Rangers break it up. Rangers a clearing attempt held in by Carter. Feeds right side, Doughty shoots, save, rebound, score! Power play goal ties up Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
To say 2 big goals, I think if you're saying like Marty scored 2 big goals, it's kind of an understatement to me. He was clutch.
The Los Angeles Kings and the New York Rangers come out for the second overtime. It's the second time in this series that we've gone to 2 overtimes.
Close games, bounce here, bounce there, could have gone in different ways. There's a lot of, I remember Slava blocked the empty net on Rick Nash at one point.
Derek Stepan to Nash, shoots, oh, he missed a wide open net.
There's so many things that if they had just gone a little bit differently, we're in trouble.
Brassard's pass, now cleared up to center ice, and a puck all the way down in the King zone. Martinez sends it around the wall for Clifford. Clifford got stepped into by Brassard.
Yeah, I broke up the play there, or the guy passed it right to me. And then just got it moving the other way.
I think it was actually Trevor that came to the bench, and I was changing for him. So I jumped on the ice, and I was skating up the ice, so I saw everything unravel perfectly.
Here on the left side, Martinez over to Clifford. Feeds it right side to Foley with a shot.
I'm sure that one felt really good for Ty when he shot it.
Knowing Toff, he was going high glove and fan on it. I was going high glove.
Feeds it right side to Foley with a shot. Save, rebound, score! Alec Martinez has won the Stanley Cup for the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings, Martinez getting the rebound. The Kings have won the Stanley Cup. The Kings, in the longest game in their history, win it 3-2. And royalty reigns again in the NHL. The Kings have won their second Stanley Cup in 3 years.
After everything happened, it was almost like, where is everybody? But when I saw those highlights after, it was like, well, Ty fell in the corner, so that's why I was the furthest corner from the bench, so that's why everyone was late. So it was more of just, not as much as jazz hands, it's just like, why is, kind of almost asking, like, where is everybody?
I felt like I was right there, but I mean, it was probably a good three seconds maybe. But yeah, I felt like I was right on top of the pile.
I think I just told him like I thought it wasn't a great celebration, but I mean, it was Stanley Cup winning goal, so it's like the biggest goal that everyone dreams about growing up. But yeah, I'm sure I chirped him at some point. I was always chirping Marty.
Till I watched it, I knew Marty had made the play to Greener. Marty jumped up. Greener had made the play, and away they went down the ice, and everybody was standing on their feet. And we scored. It was a left shot that scored. And I thought it was Kyle Clifford that scored. And I told my wife on the drive home after the game, I was gassed, right? And I was driving home after the game. I said, "That's awesome for Clifford, hey Wanda?" She goes, "Why?" She goes, I said, "He scored the goal." She goes, "No, he didn't. Marty did." And it was a left shot that tapped it in, so I thought it was left Kyle, right? But it was Marty.
Can't put it into words. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, these guys are unreal, and everyone battled for each other. It's great.
We definitely earned it, played against some great teams, and pretty damn cool.
Maybe a little bit better this time around. It's so, all the work we put into it, it was such a battle. They're both great, but it's the hardest thing that we had to do, and we did it.
This is the best feeling in the world. That's all I got. It's the best feeling. We won the Stanley Cup. It's the best.
If you look at the veteran guys in that team and the poise they played with, Justin Williams and a Mike Richards and a Kopitar and Doughty, you just go down the list. There were too many guys that wanted to be in the moment, that wanted to be on the ice at the most critical times and had the ability to make an impact in those games. And I think the Kings were an embarrassment of riches during that time.
All right, everyone. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
It is pretty awesome to kind of, get the old band back together, right? Really, really cool that the Kings value that and create opportunities for us to see each other.
And when you get back around the guys, it's like you're in the locker room again like it was last week or like it was yesterday. And you can just pick right up again where you left off. That's the type of group we have.
It's our group, and it's something that it's going to be very hard to explain for people that weren't in the rooms, that weren't on the planes, that didn't go through, the wins and the losses. It's impossible to explain that to people, and that's something where it's our group, it's a special group, and it's something that we need to hold on to for the rest of our lives.